Welcome back to episode 50 of the Perspective Podcast. It has been a while. It has been 2 weeks, and that was because we were away in Zimbabwe with the family for 3 weeks. And yeah, we are back. I'll be honest, that time away was needed because this year we have not taken a single break. We have not taken a break. The original plan was to do pods while we're out there to just keep you guys updated, do little short ones. But when I got there, I was just like, you know what? I'll put my hands up. I don't even have the energy to do so. And I literally just went offline. I was posting on Insta, was even posting on TikTok for a bit and then just put the plug socket out of that and just stopped because it just was not that season. And it was times that I was with my family that I've not seen in over a decade. And I was like, you know what? Let's just enjoy this holiday, which we did. It was a very good holiday. But we're back and I've missed you. I've actually missed filming the pod. And I can't wait to keep going. It's not a coincidence how it's episode 50 on... Is it episode 50? It's episode 40. I was tripping for a second because I was thinking, wait, there's 52 weeks in a year and we did our pod 24th of December. That was our first episode. 12 weeks left until we've been doing this for a year consistently. And that's crazy because sheesh, it has not been easy, but we've still been getting the episodes out. And I thank you for tapping into every single episode. And I know I say it every time, but yeah, word of encouragement for the day. Even when you're afraid or discouraged, don't stop, keep going. Better days are coming and things will get better. You gotta go through these periods for you to enjoy the highs when you're going through the lows. This is not your fight because I promise you the things that you're going through, someone's been through that as well. So you are okay. And I know in the moment, you don't really think that. You be thinking, damn, what is going on? But you will be okay. Just about timing, faith, and to just keep going. While I've been away, I've just been appreciating the time while being away. It was on my birthday week when we went there on the 27th of September, and I was actually nervous to go there because I haven't been there in a while. I wasn't born in Zim. I've got a British accent. I'm completely different to the norm out there. That fear is actually real because when you're there and they hear the British accent, bro, or they just see that you're different, just off the clothes that you wear or your hairstyle, or even just having earrings, bro, like you get looked upon, and it was something that I was just like, I was dreading a little bit, but I was like, you know what, it is what it is. So while I was in there, I was actually getting to learn more of just speaking the native language, which is Shona, because the way I speak is very broken. I was surprisingly out there, well, coming more to the end of the trip, speaking in Shona and just getting used to the culture and speaking the language more, just being out there. And while we was out there, the amount of beer that I consumed, and it's crazy because I drink the least out of everyone that I was with, but bro, the amount of beer that was being consumed was not normal. I despise the taste of beer for now. Want a break, and I'm not really a beer person. I'm always a tequila type of drinker. Like, I'll drink everything, but bro, it really got to a point where I just could not drink. And bro, the peer pressure out there goes crazy. If you say, yeah, I'm done, bro, you'll get looked upon like you've just killed someone. The culture in Zim is just drinking. I don't know how I survived. On the day we was going to the airport, coming back home, I was off my face. I was so drunk. I couldn't even finish the beer. Well, if my uncle was hearing this, I'm sorry, but I threw away the Zambezi. That's the alcohol beer that they have there. They were talking about that outside, yeah, and I go to the side of the car. I go to the side of the car and I slowly empty the drink out. But I was close to the girls so that they don't hear the splatter because, bro, I could not handle it. Because honestly, if I finished that drink, and bear in mind, I only drank probably like a quarter. If I drank the whole thing, if I drank the whole thing, I promise you I would have been thrown up on a flight. I probably could have given it to mum. Deep in it now, I could have given it to her. But in the moment, I was just like, nah, I feel like I'm about to die. And bro, when we were waiting to the flight, I thought I was gonna be sick. Like, I was hot, I was heaving. I was heaving. I was walking around lost. I did not know what I was doing. There was one point I was getting angry. I don't know what for, but I was just getting angry because people, the security, were just being weird. Like, they were just checking my passport a bit too long. They see the British passport. They're like, who is this guy? Actually, going back to the immigration center, when I came to the airport, They were not trying to let me in because apparently they thought I had a criminal record. They were not letting me in for nada. Like honestly, they were literally saying that it's being denied, access is not being accepted. And I'm thinking, bro, I've not been in this country for over a decade. I don't have no criminal record. I'm just a normal guy. The only criminal record that I'll probably have is for me sneaking into concerts. And that's not even in my record. That's not even like I am not a criminal. I've never done nothing like that. So to be denied is crazy. And all you know what? And you know, all they had to hear was my mum speaking son and say that I'm her son, and for them to actually check properly and for me to redo it. And all I needed to do is put my middle name. But I know even the bird agrees, but apparently not putting your middle name is access denied. Yeah, what I love Zim. You know, I love Zim. Anything I know this bird is going crazy, but anything to get a little bit of cash, anything. I had no access to a hot shower. I mean, I did, but it was all the way far because the place I was staying at was actually a big place. Like there was so many rooms, bedrooms. There was so many, and shout out to Gramp. He works for the Parliament of Zimbabwe. So yeah, bro, you walk in now. Actually, they open the gate and they've got a security and he's got a gun. I don't know what gun it is, but he's got something. And I'm thinking, yo, this is serious. I was like, yo, what are we stepping into? But bro, there was so many rooms in this house. There was a gym. I'm thinking, yo, this is mental. Like this is crazy. But anyway, was not taking no warm shower. The whole 3 weeks I was there, it was just straight cold showers. But honestly, it was refreshing because when you wake up at 6, 7 a.m., it is already 25 degrees. So that warm shower was not on my list because I needed something cold. And that cold shower was very valid. And I'll tell you something right there. The water pressure, bro, that could have ripped my skin off because that shit was lethal. One thing I'll say, being in those countries, it makes you appreciate the life that you've got. Because although where I was at, I'm very fortunate to have the accessibilities for these things, but there's people out there that barely have niche and they are still happy throwing bottles around with a smile on their face, riding their bike with a smile on their face, talking to their friends with a smile on their face, making the bare minimum, making shillings, by the way, and they've got a smile on their face. They'll have $100 left to save for the month. Like they've done everything and they've got $100 left to save to just get by around the day, and they're still smiling. They're going to the pub, have a couple beers, and they're good. Like that's all they need. That's all they need. Their beer, their drink, friends, family, and that makes everything. Even though things are not easy, but to them, they don't see it as like that. They just appreciate what they've got because life is not easy, and for the things that we've got, we should actually be lucky because we are lucky to just wake up and realize that we can actually change our life in an instant. We've got so much access to our laptop, to our phones, to to our own education instead of school education. And actually school education, we've got books that we can just go and get. There's many opportunities out here. Social media is like a crazy revenue that you can just learn and actually do something with your life. Like there's so many things out there, and it got me thinking sometimes that like it got me feeling a bit guilty for not actually. I mean, I believe that I am doing good, and I'll forever say that. But bro, sometimes you can just slack off and not do enough because we're so privileged and we take advantage of what we've got, that I may realize like we cannot take advantage of these blessings because it could be taken. When you're out there in Zim, it's so much difficult. In situations like that, you may realize, you know what, who am I to be upset or angry? Even though to have those emotions are very valid, the problems that we be having sometimes are nothing compared to what others be having. And it's one thing I genuinely had to realize for the past 3 weeks while out in Zim. That was literally something that I just kept writing every day. Like, we are so privileged, very privileged. And honestly, whatever vision or something that you have in mind, please put it into action because you are very lucky and you are very privileged, no matter what color skin you've got. Because I know that people like us, we have to work a bit harder for what we want. But honestly, it's all about the mindset and the action and the passion that you've got to give back to others. Like, just do it because honestly, just do it because it's all about that legacy that you're pushing for, not for yourself, but the people around you. And it's deeper than that. And that's one thing I had to learn. Like, bro, just enjoy your life and do what you love to do. And don't waste a single second because time waits for no man or woman. Time waits for nobody. And if you don't do it, someone will take it. There's a whole lot of music that's been going on right now. The first topic, Santan Dave is dropping his album, The Boy Who Played Harp, and we will be there. I was so excited. Remember when I told you? Remember when I told you that I was drunk when I was at the airport? I made a drunk purchase for the first time. I ended up buying his vinyl bundle with the T-shirt and a cassette. And it was with the Spotify exclusive link because apparently I'm his biggest fan. So they so they sent me the email and I had to go and get it. I had to, and I don't regret it one bit. I don't. I just hope that the album is good because if it's not, and I've got the vinyl, the T-shirt, and the cassette, I'm not gonna be a happy man. His last album, We're All in This Together, I also got the bundle, the vinyl, the T-shirt, and the cassette. No, I did not. I didn't get the vinyl. I just got the cassette and the T-shirt. And one thing I would say about the T-shirt, that quality there, I put it in the washing machine once, it messed up. I could not believe my eyes. So for this merch, I am not putting in the washing machine. I'm riding and dying with it until it just does not smell good now. But honestly, we are there for Dave's album, The Boy Who Played Harp. This is his third album, and it's been a long 4 years. He's been dropping singles. Well, he's not been dropping no single. I was actually thinking he has not dropped a single song or single for this album. Not one, not no snippet, not no nothing. And I'll be honest, it's refreshing because we're all going to be going into this album with a blind eye. And I have a feeling that he's going to drop a song the day before or on like a Wednesday or something. He's going to drop a trailer or a snippet for a song this week. And then before the album drops, he's going to drop like one song for it. Because I don't know, that's just how I see it. Because there's no way you're not going to drop a single. If you do it, then that's sick because that means that we're in for a treat. Everyone's gonna go listening to this album with a blind eye, without with no thought. Obviously, if you've not seen, then he's been having billboards around London and with a couple people that are potentially, well, not potentially, more than likely gonna be on the album. Thames and James Blake. James Blake is just like, it's a ritual for you to be on the album anyway because he's goated, and Dave and James Blake, they work well together. Both Sides of a Smile and their other songs that they have together. I really like Both Sides of a Smile. That's actually top 5 on the album. Top 3 even. Speaking of We're All Alone This Together, I've got the cassette right here and I actually really enjoyed it. And yeah, I can't wait for this album to drop. We will be doing we will be doing an album reaction, and I really don't know what to expect for this album. All I know what I'm gonna expect is just euphoric music. The boy playing harp. He's just going to be playing harp. I'm just going to be hearing angelic music. That's what I'm thinking. You know, I think with the last album, it was all about how what's going on in UK with all these crime rates or that we're all alone, and just how being born from an immigrant family and how it was so difficult. That was literally what that album was about. And this one, I don't know, I have no clue. I hope he's found peace to an extent, and now that he's like in this like, euphoric state. But hey, we're just gonna have to find out because it's been a long 4 years, and perspectives have changed. Perspectives have changed, and a lot of things have changed. So yeah, we're gonna see about that. I have a feeling I'll be surprised if there's no Central C feature. However, I'll be happy if there's no Central C feature. I don't think we need it. We got Split Decision, and we got the CRG song that they got together. That's enough. We don't need more. I was listening to Psychodrama and that album is so good. Screwface Capital, Disaster, Psycho. There's just so many good songs. Purple Heart. There's just too many good songs on the album and I love it. And if it lives up to that, then I'll be a happy man. Speaking of Dave, I've actually seen him 3-4 times and I've had an interaction with him in person. This was at Reading Festival 2022 when he was headlining, and I was working. And while we was there, I was able to go like on. I was basically on the side of the main stage, and after he finished his performance, he was walking into his like place that I don't know what you call it, but he was just going into his green room that he was staying, obviously after his set. And as he was walking, I said hello to him, and Broski nodded his head, bro. At that moment, I was thinking, yeah, I'm the man. But yeah, it's 2025 now, going into 2026, and he's got his tour coming up. We actually have to speak to the man. We do content now, so let's turn this shit up. Dave, if you're seeing this, shout me for your tour or shout me for any promo you have for your tour. I still don't listen to Young Thug's album. I've that after that first listen, it's not really my rotation. And it's a sad thing to say because I actually love Young Thug, but damn, I don't know what is happening to the point that Gunna's having a better run. Speaking of Gunna, we will be there for his tour. Shout out to my boy Rio because he cut me tickets for his show in Manchester. We will be there and I can't wait. I'll be singing off the top of my lungs and I hope he does. I hope he does comfort with me. Honestly, that is like a top song. That's my favorite song on the album because I listen to that song like every day. It's genuinely like motivation for me. Play that at the gym, you're going crazy. Especially the second verse because there's just something about that song that just works every single time. Like every single time. I know I already mentioned it, but it's just such a good song, bro. Even show them. Like there's so many good songs on the album that you can just play top to bottom. You can just play top to bottom. While I was in Zim, me and my mom had like a rare experience. We was walking with lions and tigers, and that shit was insane, bro. That was actually crazy because the lions were really good. They were nice. Obviously, seeing them there, I was thinking, yo, they could do anything at any moment. Like, if anyone pisses them off, they could literally, they could eat you up. They could eat you up. But hey, we're back. Like the only thing that they were doing, which was having me a bit on the edge, was that they were just wagging their tail like aggressively. Like they knew that you're there behind you, and they'll literally just hit you. They will hit you with their tail. Like that is actually kind of funny. Like they know what they're doing, and if they can't be bothered to move, they'll just sit down. They'll just sit down and they'll just wait because low key, that's what they want to do. However, they've trained them that the people are more dominant than them. However, they can get to a point where if they get too rowdy, then it's raps. The males are more predictable than the females. That's why they don't let female lions or tigers out when you're doing those experiences because if a female tiger is on their hormones or if they're going crazy, somebody is not gonna make it out alive. But yeah, that was a sick experience and shout out to mom for her birthday, man. 50, big 50. She deserves it all and I can't wait to just grow with my mom as well. It's getting scary though to an extent because I was thinking, yo, my mom's really getting old. This time 10 years ago, my mom was 40. Now she's 50. I'm 23, so that is actually my mom is a young parent. Well, yeah, my mom is young for a parent. My friends, their parents are in their mid 50s. So I'm very grateful that my mom is still like she's only just turned 50. So I'm very grateful to have experienced my early 20s or my teenage years while saying, oh, my mom's a youngin because she actually is, but yeah, she's getting older now and I'm getting older too. And while getting older, you be thinking, damn, we've got a lot of things we've got to do, but it's all about timing. While I was in Zim, the album that I was listening to on repeat non-stop was just Olivia Dean. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That album there, staple. Songs like Let Alone the One You Love, A Couple Minutes, even the intro, The Art of Loving, Lady Lady, Close. Those songs are ridiculous. Loud, ridiculous. Loud is such a beautifully song-written song. And especially the ending part when she had the orchestra. And I did not realize until I saw her Insta that they were in the room while they were singing it together, while they were playing the instruments. And honestly, after seeing that, it made me really want to start learning to play an instrument. That's one of my goals, to actually learn how to play an instrument. And I'll probably do piano or guitar or something. But yeah, honestly, Loud is such a perfect song. And everyone's saying that it deserves to be in a Bond song. It just makes sense. It just has that vibe to it that just captures your mood instantly. And it just sounds really good. It grabs your eye rapidly, as well as the song I've Seen It All, which is a slow burner to me, but I enjoy it. And So Easy. But the ending of So Easy is better to me. And Baby Steps. Bro, the whole album, something in between, everything, let alone the one you love, will have you crying. That is such a good song, bro. Who would do that to a friend, let alone the one you love? As soon as I heard, I was but yeah, if you haven't listened to Olivia Dee's album, go and tap in because it's magical. Speaking of albums, Daniel C's is dropping his album on Friday, same day as Dave. Bro, waiting for a treat. And I can't lie, I'm listening to Dave's album first. I'm listening to Dave's album first because, yeah, Dave's my guy. You know, you got to stand up for Dave, even though, actually, yeah, Dave will be the first one I'm listening to first because Daniel Caesar released his album like 2 years ago. 3 years ago, Never Enough. And that is a really good album, but we will be there for Dave's album and Daniel Caesar. The songs that he's been dropping, they've been good, especially Moon. That is my favorite one that he's dropped out of the singles, and I can't wait because his voice, the instrument, the feature, everything about the song is just perfect. Is it Bon Iver? I think that's how I pronounce it. His addition to the song, chef's kiss. Like, honestly, I don't know how people don't love music. Like, I'll be listening to music and I'll be thinking, bro, this is so good. Like, you know when you listen to a song and you just get that good feeling when listening to a song, no matter what genre it is, you're just thinking, damn, this is really good. Like, music can literally lift up your mood in an instant, and it's crazy how much of an impact music has. And bro, I'll forever keep documenting my love for music and about the things about albums, songs that I just like a lot because there's just something different about music. Like, honestly, every couple of days I'm updating my playlist or just sorting out my like songs or just looking at artists. Like, honestly, I think I'm a nerd when it comes to music because I'll literally go on Spotify, look up a random artist, look at their discography, look at what year they dropped the album, look at the singles, look how long they took to release an album. I'll even look at the top 10 or top 5 of the Spotify monthly listeners on like the top 5 who's like the most listened to in the world. And because I'm so tapped in ish to music, I'll I'll make an assumption and I'll literally go from number 10 to number 1 and find out who's the most monthly listened to artist right now. And the number 1 artist is The Weeknd, which is crazy. Even though Taylor Swift dropped the album, The Weeknd is still number 1, which is actually mad. But yeah, it's The Weeknd number 1. And number 2, I believe it's either Bruno Mars, which is even crazy. Bro, Bruno Mars, yeah, he's an artist that will always do well, period. Like, he's actually still up there. I think it's The Weeknd, then it's Bruno Mars. Then I think it's Taylor Swift. Then I think it's Justin Bieber or Rihanna. Bro, it's insane how that all works. Like, Rihanna also being there, and she hasn't released an album in years. Like, it's actually mental when you think about things like that. But hey, it's up. And then Drake, I think he's the most streamed rapper. I believe it's either him or Eminem. Kendrick Lamar's his monthly listeners has been dropping, and I'll be the one to say monthly listeners don't mean shit. You could be the most monthly listening artist, and to someone else, you could just be the worst artist, or just, don't let that number deceive you. However, it does low key make a difference. It does because they are like those artists. They are top, and that's facts. That is facts. Playboy Carti is on tour, and bro, he's been going crazy with this tour to the point that he even brought out Kendrick Lamar. And who else did he bring out? Yeah, wait, Kendrick Lamar, Fake Mink, which is just random, very random. Like, Fake Mink's cosigns this year is literally stacked on his resume that no one can actually chat to him. But yeah, Carti's tour has been going crazy, and honestly, it looks good. For his Europe tour, which apparently, according to Swamp Izzo, he will be doing his tour in April, we will be there. It's actually looking really good. The one thing I would say though is that stage set is just a bit too high. That shit is a bit too high. That is too high. Other than that, everything is actually very valid. I like the way they've done the lights around the arena because that actually looks fire. If only they had it similar to Drake's where like the lights drop and shit. Because I can't let that shit was beautiful. But other than that, his tour looks really good. And I always say I'll be listening to the album more. I know I said it's not my top 10 album, but I actually do like the album. It may actually turn up in my top 10, but hey, it's a good album, especially Olympian. I think that's my favorite. Olympian, Backdoor, Hood by Air is still like top on the album. No one can chat to that song. I still don't listen to Pop Out. I like Radar more and Good Credit. Yeah, Good Credit is actually a good song. Kendrick's verse I really enjoy, but Carti's verse, mm, he's not really saying nothing. He's not saying nothing at all. But yeah, music is just a long ass album, and Olympian is just up there as one of his best beat selections for a song that just works every time. He's just got this vibe that is just he's good at picking beats for an album and making it turn good. And you don't even need to say much, but that's just Carti. And Travis is also on tour. And yeah, we messed it up. We were supposed to go see him in South Africa. However, it was mom's birthday weekend. And I'm not gonna abandon Mumsy and go South Africa. You know, I'd rather spend time with the family for my mom's 50th rather than to go South Africa. However, it would have been good. But yeah, Travis has been doing his tour and he did his tour. Well, he did a show in South Africa and India, and he's actually just standing on business. His South Africa show looked crazy, and more artists should do shows in Africa or just countries like that. To the point that even Gunna is doing his in Africa too, Johannesburg and Cape Town, which it should be done because you don't realize how much of a fan base you have in them countries or in them places, especially South Africa, bro. Them people hold it down. They seriously hold that shit down. And yeah, it's actually sick to see him touring the different places because you really get to see your fan base who are actually there. I'm very privileged enough to have the opportunity to go see him at Coachella because that was an experience. That was a very, very big experience, and I'm very grateful that I was able to go there because that stage set, everything about that set list was one of one, and I don't think we're ever gonna get something like that. And to be able to meet Travis as well, and for him to record on my phone, like I know I always mention I always mention it, but why not? Because that was a once in a lifetime experience, and I'll forever say that. What band shall we tap into next? Because we've been tapping into quite a lot of bands. We've been stacking it up recently. But who do you want me to tap into next? Because I'm back home now and I'm here to listen to new music. Who do you want me to listen to and what shall we do? Who can we listen to and what genre can we tap into? I want you to tell me or whatever because we tapped into Raytons, they're valid. We listened to Taylor Swift's album and I can't lie, there's one good song, actually three good songs. The one with Sabrina is valid, the one called Honey and Elizabeth Taylor. They're actually valid. But yeah, who else should we tap into? Because we've been listening to a lot of bands, and yeah, we're only gonna keep listening to more bands and get that shit cracking. Because who would have thunk it that we'd be tapping into more bands? If you know me, you know I'm into my rap music or whatever. But recently, it's actually been swaying away from that and into just a lot of different genres. So things are changing, and I'm here for it. So yeah, whichever band you want me to tap into, let's get it going because there's so many bands. We still need to listen to who's the there's we still need to listen to Pink Floyd. I've never listened to that album, Wish You Were Here. I think that's the album. I want to listen to that. That actually may have to be done. Yeah, that may have to be done because I want to tap into their music and see what they're saying, because they've got a big influence in the music industry. So that actually may have to be done. But yeah, let me know which artists you want me to tap into because we may actually have to do so. We may have to do so. This is random, but we got co-signed by a boss. We've got given their perfume to make a video and to just talk about their perfume. And I'll be the first to say this. If I can, then so can you. All this stuff is arm's reach. You just have to pick up that camera and just do it. I don't even talk about fragrances, but it it just worked. And honestly, do it because obviously do it if you want to and do it if you love it. Because you have to love it for it to actually work. Because if you don't, it's just gonna make it even difficult. Because bro, there'll be days where you're so sluggish or don't even want to do anything, but you just do it anyway. But honestly, doing that is like one of the best experiences I was grateful, very grateful to do. And shout out to Boss and Boots because that shit is sick. While I was in Zim, I was reading Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Light, and that shit is insane. Everything about that book is actually really good. From the way that he just the way that he talks about his experiences in life and the way that he goes about his days and his mindset and just the way that he moves. And if you haven't read that book, I'd recommend you to read it because there's actually good insight and it will have you thinking about the way you should move after you finish reading the book. And really and truly, if you're not religious as well, it will have you thinking even more because I'm Christian and it had me thinking even more, which is actually kind of crazy. And I wasn't expecting for it to be like that, but it's a really good book. And yeah, one thing I would say after reading that, it's not a need for what you want. It's a want because if you need it, then you're begging it. Show dedication, not desperation, because it's already yours. You just have to have that intention and just keep going and let it come to you. Of course, that the action do the talking, but you don't have to do too much. You don't have to force it. Fred again has been going crazy recently, and I've been tapping into this era that he's in with this USB moment. If you don't know what's going on, he's been dropping songs every Friday because he's got his USB 2 dropping. He previously did USB 1 where he basically uploads new songs on it, and after every week there's going to be a new song on it, and he's doing it again, but this time he's doing 10 new songs, 10 shows every week, and also, what is it, 10 shows, 10 songs, and 10 cities in different places. And he has to do one in Birmingham. Of course, there's gonna be one in London. I guarantee you the last one is gonna be in London. But he has to do one in, Birmingham or somewhere nearby because I want to see Fred again. And regardless, we will be there for his show. I like the run that he's doing and I like the way that he expresses his love for music. Like he is honestly the level of like obsessed with music. The way that he makes the videos of him showing the process of him making the beats, like you can tell that this broski eats, lives, sleeps, everything music. And I can't lie, it's actually sick because it shows straight passion and you could hear it during the music on some beats, on some elements that you can just tell that there was just thought. But obviously to someone else it just sound like he's just tapping on a pad repetitively and it's going nowhere. But you're just not tapped in. You're not tapped in. Like his music is perfect to just go on a run or work out to, especially his song "You're a Star" and OG Dub, or is it OG Dub? OG Dub. Yeah, OG Dub, OG Dub. But yeah, honestly, his music is valid, and whatever tour or show he does in the UK, London, we may have to be there. One thing I'll say, life update. I am okay. I am well. I'm happy. I'm grateful to be back. Obviously, life is just not easy and there's always going to be complications, but we're just always getting it day by day. And I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be present. Every week, there's always going to be something new. And I hope that you're doing well and thriving every second. Perspective, we have something coming up very, very soon. I know I say this every time, but we actually have something coming up and we will be back. Like we will be back. Just wait on it. Like just wait on it. Like we have something coming up soon, and I can't wait to have it coming up because this is something that has been in the works for so long, literally for so long, and there's always going to be problems, but that's what makes everything worth it. So yeah, we will be having things coming up very, very soon. Perspective is in the works, and I can't wait. Everything is moving upscale. Going away and coming back just made me want to give back more and to just keep going, even when I'm tired, even when I can't be bothered, like to just keep going. Like having the time off really does something to you to make you realize what you truly love. And it's all of this, giving back and just creating this content. It's this. And there's obviously more to it. And I can't wait to keep going with all this, every single one of you, because that's life. Gym, we're going crazier. And one thing I'll say, do not do things on your own because you're not. If you got to work out with people, do that. Write down your autumn goals and go crazy with it because we've got an empire to build and that's what we're doing every day. That's episode 40 of the Perspective Podcast. Thank you for tapping in and I'll see you guys next week.